What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about my fitness journey as a father, getting back in shape as a first-time father. So my son is 2.5 years of age now, and I started working out again when he was about 3 months old. So I've been back training again, it's over 2 years. You'll see some from images here. I want to show you some pictures here of the shape I was in when he was like a month old. This is roughly when he's about a month, 2 months old. Yeah, I'm proper skinny. You see the state of me there, the beard and the hair. I was just a mess. I looked a mess. I was skinny. Obviously, I'm on court. I'm running around playing tennis and teaching. So my fitness level, my cardiovascular level is okay. It's higher than average. But I hadn't done any type of strength or weightlifting or anything like that for, at this point, looking at a year and a half. Now my previous history. Let me take you through my previous history here. Obviously, I used to be an athlete, used to train full time. And then throughout my 20s, I was on and off training. I'd do a bulk, 6 months training, and then I'd stop, and then 6 months on, 6 months off. And then my late 20s got into a lot of calisthenics. Again, though, I would do a good 6 to 9 months, and then I'd pick up a bad injury and I'd be out for a long time. So again, I was very on and off. And you see in those previous pictures there, I'd been injured for quite some time. I had a bad elbow injury, so well over a year. I hadn't done any type of strength training. And then the baby come along and everything else. So I was putting it off, and I decided to get back into it and start training again. It's super challenging, when you're a first-time dad, even anytime you're a dad, really, young kids, but first time, it's hard, suddenly you're not sleeping. You're very busy. If you're not working, you're at home and you got to look after the baby. So time is minimal. So you have to be very, very clever about how to train. Now, luckily, throughout my history, I'm also a trained personal trainer and have trained people. I know my training. I know my stuff. I know how to train. So I understood I had to be very clever about it. And so even to this day, my son doesn't sleep great. His sleep is inconsistent. So even to this day, sleeping, recovery, rejuvenation isn't what it could be. I'm still occupied, I'm still busy. If I'm not working on the court with a very physical job, often helping out, looking after my boy, and trying to run this thing, trying to do this and other things. And so time is at a minimum. So I have to be clever. I can't, when I used to train before he was born in the calisthenics, I used to train 4 or 5 times a week, 3-hour sessions. It was crazy. I was doing too much. No wonder I kept getting injured. So I can't do that. I couldn't do that anymore. So I cut it down initially I was cutting it down. I do 2 pull days, 1 push day. So 3 times a week, and 1 legs day as well. And I figured out that extra legs day was really wearing me out with the lack of sleep and time. So I put legs into the push and pull day, and I did it that way. So, and I would just do 1 or 2 leg exercises throwing in with the sessions, nothing too intense. And it worked really, really well for me. You see some clips here of me as I'm progressing, especially for that first year. I was progressing. I was putting on size. I wasn't training for size. I was still in the calisthenics mindset. I'm still training a lot of calisthenics here. I had some calisthenic goals. I wanted handstand push-ups, working towards a planche. So I'm not training for size, but you can see here putting on substantial size. Now, like I said, I had to be very careful and clever, right? So when you've got a very physical job that I do, your lack of sleep, lack of time, lack of rest, you can't go balls to the wall, like busting a nut, going to failure every set and everything. You have to be very clever with your training. So what I did with my training was I would split my training into 3-month sections. So for every 3 months, I would basically do the same workouts, the same amount of sets and reps and weights and everything for 3 months. Then I'd progress. And so the first month, the sessions would be difficult. It'd be difficult to complete the sets. I might have to do cluster sets to finish the rounds. And then the second month is easier. I'm completing them. By the third month, it's pretty easy. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there going, what, 3 months? You're doing the same workout for 3 months? How are you progressing? Oh my God, it's so boring. But if you understand how the body works, you know, I'd pick up with calisthenics especially, it's more heavy on the joints. So your muscles recover way faster than your connective tissue. Okay, so if you're constantly up in the reps, up in the sets, up in the weights, you know, always progressive overload every session, looking to do more and more, eventually what's going to happen, you're going to have a joint problem. You're going to get some tendonitis or something. You're going to have sometimes a pure tear. You see a lot of bodybuilders just tear from their muscles, connective tissue just separate from their joint. Okay, because their muscles are way stronger than the joints. You need the connective tissue, which takes a hell of a lot longer to recover and rejuvenate. You need that time for it to catch up a little bit with the muscle. So doing the same workout every 2-3 months, what that does, it allows that connective tissue to catch up to the rate of the strength of the muscle. And so you're not going to end up with too big of an imbalance and end up with joint problems. Now you're thinking, oh, well, you don't progress, but you can see by the videos here, I still progressed. Your strength is improving. As I said, the first month starts off difficult, second month gets easier, and the third month the workouts feel really easy. You almost feel like you're not doing much. So you're progressing there, and that progress, seeing how much easier it gets, is progress in and of itself. And they get more efficient. The easier it gets, you know, you can have less rest and sets, and you can get the sessions done quicker. So that's how I would train. That's how I have been training. I do train now. At the moment, my current training is even less because I've incorporated some boxing training once a week. So again, I have to be clever. That's very, very high intensity. So I have to be clever with my training. So I've changed it now. I only strength train upper body twice a week. That's a full upper body session on Monday and a full upper body session on Friday. And again, incorporating a little bit of legs into that, and that's it. And on Wednesday, boxing training, which is very high intensity, you know. And I don't want to overdo it, and you can't overdo it, because if you overdo it in the gym and you bust your nuts as I was doing before when I didn't have children, I would be injured all the time. My training just would not go anywhere because I don't get the sleep, I don't get the rest. So you have to be smart with it. You have to make some sacrifices. And of course you have to put it as a priority as well. You know, it should be really high priorities. When you're a father, it's more important to me now, training now, because I want to be a great example for my kids. And so often at the early days, my son was young, the only time I had the chance to train was at the end of the day, late at night, sometimes at like 9 o'clock at night. It's the only time, because I was either working or I was super busy looking after him because he's, you know, really young. And so I just have to force myself to get a session in 9 till 10 o'clock at night, knowing I'm going to only sleep 4 or 5 hours. But I got it done. I didn't overdo it. Like I said, I wasn't progressive overload every session. So I wasn't absolutely killing myself, and I was clever about it. And you can see from the clips and the videos, you know, a lot of progress still being made. And it was, the best part about it was, like I mentioned in the previous video, my previous training, I'd sort of go 6 months, 9 months, and then I'd pick up a really bad injury. I went almost 2 years until I picked up any type of injury, training in this way. Just constantly progressing, every 3 months progress, 3 months progress. And my progress was huge. My strength has increased massively, despite not trying to, you know, overload and progressively overload every session. So I was clever about it, and that's what you got to do when you're a father. Time is of the essence. You've got to make it a priority. Do it whenever you can. You know, anytime you got it, you know, even if it's just half an hour, 45 minutes here or there, whatever it is, you know, maybe you have to split it up. I tried to do a little bit of that as well. I tried to do like a 10-minute thing here, you know, some pull-ups here, and then 20 minutes later, some chin-ups and push-ups, and split it up. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. You got to be clever and accept that you can't train as intensely and as often as you used to. You know, I had to let go of that. That was difficult initially. I wanted to train how I used to, and realized very early on I couldn't do that, you know, and trying to do that would just not be a benefit of me anyway. So, you know, that a lot of the advice I would give new fathers. And there's other things around it. You know, you can meditate. 20 minutes of meditation a day has been shown to make up for around about 2 hours of sleep. You know, so if you're not sleeping very much, that can be equivalent of an extra 2 hours of sleep. That helped. Good foods, anti-inflammatory foods, healthy foods, staying hydrated, you know, power nap here or there whenever you can. And not killing yourself, not overdoing it, being clever, shortening your sessions, not overtraining, not doing too much, not killing yourself, not going to failure every session. You still make great progress, guys. You see here from the clips and the progress. And the stage I'm in now, like I said, the stage I'm in now, I actually have more time on my hands, but I train a little bit less because I've incorporated with the boxing training. I want to learn that. I want to keep that going. That's my high intensity day as well. It's very high in interval intensity training. So that's my fitness day. That's my conditioning day, along with the skills with the boxing. And then on Monday, Friday, you know, a general conditioning session, like, you know, and a lot of stuff on the rings, mostly body weight work. For those of you noticing as well in the clips, you know, if you've noticed, you probably have, I'm a little bit out of balance with my body. And that's the tennis, guys. That's years of tennis, playing right-handed. My right side of my body is all bigger than my left side. I've tried multiple times in the past to even that out, really tried everything, and caught the left side up a bit, but I could never get it perfectly symmetrical. And I sort of given up on it. So I do a lot of the body weight stuff, knowing that right side is always going to work a bit more. I'm never going to catch it up. I don't care what that looks like. You know, a lot of people don't even notice in real life. It's more noticeable on camera. A lot of people don't actually notice too much in real life, unless I really point it out to them. So I'm not really that bothered about it. I still feel good. I like the way I look. And yeah, I do like, I'm confident in my body. I feel good in my body. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm not picking up injuries. I'm confident in how I look, and I just, it's been clever. You got to be clever when you're a parent, and time is of the essence, and rest is minimal. So that's some of the advice I give you. Do it when you can. Still make it a priority. Do it whenever you can. Don't be too intense with your sessions. Don't progress every single session. Be clever about it. Be smart. Eat well. Get some meditation in as well. Some recovery stuff. Get some massage in here and there when you can. Cold showers, etc. Ice baths, whatever it is. Yeah, pay attention to that. You know, foam roll. Any little things you feel, niggles, tight spots. Foam roll it. You know, massage, stretch. All those things are going to help. And you can continue, like I've shown, you know, you can get in good shape and better shape. You know, I'm not in elite shape by any stretch of the means, but you can definitely improve still when that first child comes around and makes things all that more challenging. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this inspires some fathers. Get in shape. There's no excuses. There is no excuses, guys. Yeah, I'm proof of that. I'm working 7-8 hours a day on a tennis court out here in the freaking heat in the summer, 40-degree heat. You know, I've got no time on my hands, no spare time. You know, I make time, I find a way to get it done, and I do it. And yeah, I've made some really, really good progress over the last couple of years. And I'm honest to God, I feel in, you know, the best shape I felt in years. My body's feeling the best it's felt in years. way better than I felt in my late 20s there, you know, when I was sort of overdoing it. So it's you can always get better, but you've got to be clever about it. Yeah, so I hope this helps. Take some of the tips on board if you're a new dad and you're looking to train, and get stuck in, guys.